All right, with the big thanks to Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini and, of course, Solely Designs as well. This is the Crowject coming at you for episode 306, I'm pretty sure, as a primer for our elimination final against the Hawthorn Hawks coming up this Friday night as well. We're doing a quick one tonight because we've had a lot that's been happening off the pod and everything else like that, but I want to give a big welcome to my fellow co-host, Lleyton. How are you, buddy?
Hello. Yes, I'm doing good. I'm pumped for tomorrow night, but also very nervous.
Yes, pumped and trepidatious is what we like. So my name's Peter, and a big thank you to our amazing patrons as well, patreon.com/Crowject. We just recorded a little pre-roll where you can hear about me getting hit from behind by an ambulance on Thursday morning while being on the air with ESB in Arkansas.
Not a joke.
No joke, legitimately. It's my fault for taking the dash cams out of my car. Now, we have an elimination final that we need to get to, but also we need to talk about how we got to an elimination final. Lleyton, we had a loss to Collingwood in a qualifying final, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We didn't really turn up last Thursday night, to be fair. A lot of fans did, and it was a great crowd. Great crowd in terms of numbers, but not necessarily behaviour, which we'll get to in Segment Street on the Patreon. But, yeah, in terms of the actual game, we looked like we hadn't played a final in however long.
Yeah, it looked like we hadn't played a final in 8 years,
Yeah.
It goes to show. And look, Texas 300th.
In that aspect, though, it was great.
Yeah, that was really
the club
good.
handled it, all the pre-match hype. I mean, the post-match chair-off was good until you saw his son wearing the Dacos Guernsey.
Yeah, it just okay, fine. You know, it is what it is. And
yeah, it's just unlucky for Tex. He puts his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, heart on the sleeve, and I think a lot of players were wiping their noses into their sleeve as well, because apparently half of the squad had the flu.
Yes.
Which has only really come out. Now, we did get some messages and rumours about that on Friday and Saturday. But...
So it's one of those things that you only hear about after a loss. Yeah. And I think the presser today, Nixie just played it down. It's been like, yeah, this stuff sort of happens all the time. Most players, if they can't get up, they don't play with illness, you know. So it kind of been super serious.
Yeah. I mean, I can think of a past great of the club who was out for a final, I think, with Parvo, with Mark Rashudo back in 2005.
Yeah.
And I was there for that qualifying final against St Kilda where the Tizer printed out the Mark Rashudo faces to hold up.
Wasn't that 06? 06.
No. Oh, was it 06?
I think it was 06 because he had his 300 during that season. Then, like a month later, it was like, oh yeah, it's Parvo.
That's right. Sorry, 2006. My fault. Yes, that's right. I just love, out of all the things to do, Parvo, Rashudo. It's a relief to know what came up on his viral PCR. Good on him.
So he played up until round 20 of 06, and then not again for the rest of the year. So it didn't even feature in the 06 final series, which is weird looking back on it because you don't think about that.
What could have been?
What could have been. The Collingwood game, we lost 8-7, 55 to 11-13, 79. So the margin only 24. Definitely could have been a lot more, but at the same time,
I agree.
We were around the mark in the last quarter if we got on a roll, but we just couldn't take those opportunities, and Collingwood put way too much pressure on us.
Yeah, and look, I think where we lost the game, and as weird as this sounds, was heading into halftime. Now, both of us went to the game together, and to see the Auskick kids going out, running directly towards a melee of...
You don't think that's a good look?
I don't think so.
Think of the children.
I think we were both shouting that, just like, think of the children, while these, 6 and 7-year-olds are just, just like, we're on the field. Yeah. While 36 hot boys are just punching on. Clearly, I think mentally we were rattled
Yeah.
and we broke when that occurred.
Yeah. I think there was second half wasn't terrible, but at the same time, we just weren't, we were, like I've heard Nixie say this before, like we were almost trying too hard because everyone was over committing to the contest, which wasn't playing their role and wasn't helping the whole team, which, you can understand, but hopefully we learn quick because, short turnaround into the semi-final.
Yeah, exactly. And, 2 goals to Tex and Filth, Pedler with 3 goals, which
good performance.
Be good. But hey, it was a 5-goal-to-3 third quarter.
Yeah,
and
that 7-goal in a row.
A 1-goal-to-nothing fourth quarter. Doesn't help. So, look, I think we actually looked fatigued given we had such a long break. However, it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got to move on quick. But I guess, missed opportunity, another qualifying final loss. We have unfortunately made a habit of that with multiple other seasons like 2012 when we lost against Sydney, and 2005 we lost the qualifying final against St Kilda, as you brought up before. So missed opportunity to get a home prelim, but I think we could have easily got ahead of ourselves for that game if we somehow got over the line here. So it's probably where we're at. We finished on top of the ladder, but it's been a big rise very quickly. Record breaking from 15th to 1st. So you'd hope that this is just a blip, but I guess time will tell. And looking back at history, 2006 was the only other time that in the current final system that the team on top of the ladder lost the qualifying final and ended up winning the grand final. So we're probably against the odds in that respect, but it's happened once. We can do it again.
Yeah, we from memory, the qualifying final was against Fremantle.
Yes, in 2006, yes, and we won that.
I went to that.
Yeah,
that was a putrid.
Low scoring.
That was a Neil Craig special all over. Mate.
Yeah,
had a lady next to me who was very drunk on rum that she brought in a Coke Zero bottle that was new at the time. And she said, "Do you want some?" And I said, "No, thanks." And she took a huge swig of it and then fell asleep on my shoulder 10 minutes into the first quarter. No joke. So shout out to her. I don't know where she's at now.
Memories.
Now, very quickly, I want to get to just a few thoughts on Insta, etc. From our stories where we put up after the game. Just give us your thoughts on the game as well. We'll get to a few in the post as well. We'll get to the crowd and everything as a part of Segment Street as well, because we've got a lot to unpack there and voicemails to go through too.
Yeah.
But Mrs_A2709 said, worst home crowd ever, no support for our players at all. I don't know about that, but there was I was quite impressed, not in a good way, but I was impressed by the turnout from Collingwood fans. So it was, let's be honest, pretty
impressive. You could definitely hear them when they shouted and cheered, which happened a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah. Cameron Sivier said, where was Peatling, Fogarty and Keys most of the game?
Yeah, well, Keys they threw in the middle for some reason. Peatling they kept up forward and didn't use in the middle enough. And they also put Laird in the middle as well, which was, very strange to do it where he hasn't really been seen during the year.
There was a couple of gentlemen sitting behind us, Lleyton, that did point out the fact that was probably the first time they'd seen that rotation and for this year, and it was almost a panic setting, which, I think it was a crap moment.
I understand it, but he was in there from the first quarter, so it's not like we were playing terrible and he was like, okay, let's go to Laird. And he wasn't playing terrible. It was just he's not the player in that midfielder to be a point of difference.
Correct, yeah. Mason R11, I don't know if this is Mason Cox's burner, but he said West Coast played better. I don't know about that.
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch. Life of Chig, friend of the pod and Patreon, Justin Chiggy Cummings, he says, will be better for the experience and bounce back. Fair enough. Another friend of the pod and Patreon says, Jason Ling here says, good in patches, bad in bigger patches. We lost, but the worst thing was a crowd. Disgusting. Agreed. Yeah, fair few about the crowd as well, which we'll get to later on. Alex has written in, Saxman is unemployed now. Well, he will be there on Friday night.
Oh, he
will?
will?
Guarantee that.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
correct.
I'm
glad
but
this
the
will be
one
his last
loss.
One. Yeah.
I'm glad the one loss hasn't swayed him from not coming back.
We've got GW Sharpie, who's big on YouTube, Twitch, etc. Says, crumbled under pressure, need to respond next week. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod and collaborator on this beautiful top right here.
Yes.
Dan Schmidt from Adelaide Mail says, not good, not awful, but not good. I think that's a summary of Adelaide Mail generally, or us, who knows. Look, there was a lot that was happening on socials as well, and I sort of want to skip over a lot of those comments, only for the fact that we'll unpack that as a part of Second Street for Patreon side of things. So let's put in the rear vision mirror because it's done.
Yeah, can't do much about it. Collingwood have played a lot better. But to the news, where AFLW's been kicking along, and we have been had been in better form, but last week we unfortunately went down to Brisbane again from a close loss, and again, arguably from the umpires' help.
That was, I tuned in for the last part of that game. Was busy that day.
With now, the Father's Day and everything, yeah.
Correct. Now, they talk about commentator's curse. Can we call it a score graphic curse? Or the Channel 7 curse? Because they literally put up at the start of the fourth quarter, the Crows have not beaten Brisbane since round 1, 2022. Neck minute.
Jeez. That's rough.
Really rough, really rough. And, I feel bad for the girls losing in that fashion.
You're up by 3 goals going into the last quarter. You do win that, especially at home, most of the time. But I don't know. I think we just, like Clark said in the presser, they went defensive because they tried to save the game, which probably hurt them in the end because we weren't putting any scoreboard pressure on when really we probably just needed one more to seal it. But unfortunately, couldn't get it done. But we're still, around the mark. We are playing the harder opponents because of our fixturing. Compared to other AFLW teams. So we'll bounce back, and I hope that this doesn't demoralise the team because we're definitely a chance if we get on a roll. It's just whether we can be consistent and
get
put
over
away
the
our
hump.
chances.
Get over the hump of Brisbane and AFLW umpires. That was, and I'll be honest. To a certain extent, I really wanted to see the girls get up, given everything that had happened.
Yeah,
from
that
Thursday
weekend.
Night.
It wasn't a great weekend.
It was a crap weekend for 0 and 3, which we'll get to the snaffle in a little bit. But man, it's gut-wrenching to see. It's gut-wrenching to see.
It is.
So.
But a lot of positive news. Chelsea Randall signs 2 more years.
It's fantastic.
Which is very impressive and well-deserved, obviously.
Definitely.
Because she's just been at it from the start, obviously had her injury setbacks, but generally pretty consistent.
Yes.
But she's 34 now, and 2 more years she's going to be pushing it in terms of age, but she doesn't look like she's slowing down at all. I don't think 2 years from now she's going to be limping across the line.
I'm going to call it. I reckon she's going to be our next coach. Now I'm aware. I'm aware.
Captain coach.
Yeah. Well, Clarkie's finishing at the end of this year, right? I get the feeling, and we talked about the coaching by committee with the amount that seemed to be around the team itself.
Yeah.
There may be someone that's a quasi interim that sort of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think she may retire and slot directly into that role. Now,
Oh, yeah.
if she doesn't there, she may do it at another club.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But maybe, hopefully at the Crows, obviously, because
Yes.
her partner, Ray Chich, the former player, is an assistant coach there, I believe, or at
Yes.
least was. So, you've got the hook to try and
to stay there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll continue on with the news. So, yeah, SANFL, Crom out, knocked out by bloody Norwood, of course, who have been in weird form because earlier in the year they were terrible and now they've come good, and they face my Bays, who also lost on the weekend against Sturt. So, just a terrible weekend of results. I really hope it's the opposite this weekend.
Yeah, and I think, the girls team put in a huge effort, sort of got screwed. Let's be honest, SNAFL team.
It's the classic finals. Once they turn the finals, both the umpires and sometimes the players don't really want to win or don't put in 100%. Nothing against them. Like, you can understand players not, you don't need, if you're not playing in the first team, you don't really need or want to play extra games. I don't know. It depends. It's definitely personal preference there. But yeah, it's just that weird feeling of seeing that. It would be cool to see them win a granny, but history tells us it's not really going to happen.
Yeah, correct. And on
to more positive news. We've got.
I need to get to one other thing about the news very quickly. Maddie Newman has signed another deal.
Yes, I missed that.
No, that's
another
okay.
great sign-in. Her kick-in is definitely a big highlight. Whenever she gets the ball, she disposes it very well.
Amen. It was great to see it. And I also very, very quickly want to touch on the last pod. We had such a long pod and we completely forgot to mention about the retirement of Matt Crouch.
Yes.
Too. And, an absolute, bastion for this team. He's done so much. He's all Australian.
Just a warrior.
As well.
Really.
Yeah. How many Malcolm Blight jackets did he win in the end?
I think it might have been just the one, but I do know
just one? Okay.
that he won the club champion in 2017 which was obviously a great year for us as a team, and to win the gold jacket in that year just shows how important he was at his best. Unfortunately, the injuries to the hip this year has forced the early retirement, but he was BNF and All-Australian in 2017, and he goes out playing 164 games for the Crows. So, very impressive performance inside bull.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big thank you to all his amazing service that he's done throughout the years. So
definitely. Now, next thing for the news before the preview, we've got a certain game on Sunday that I will be playing in the RecLink Community Cup.
That's right.
It's
down at Kenilworth.
Oval, which is a bit slightly south at St Mary's, and it'll be a good time. So get down there if you can, or catch the live stream on YouTube. Former co-host Damon and Elodie will be playing as well. They're both captains, the co-captains on the day, which will be interesting. I just hope no one gets injured, but it's a good time raising money for RecLink.
That's fantastic. And also Dan Linky as well,
our
North Melbourne correspondent.
He is playing for the Rockatoos, who are the musicians, and I'm playing for the Anchors, who are the media and the rest, sort of.
Why the Anchors?
Like anchor, like co-host, or on a radio anchor.
Oh, sorry. I thought your name of your team was the Anchors.
Yeah, it is.
So you weigh things down or something? Like, what's the...
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. No, it's a fantastic cause, everything that RecLink does. So great work there, Lleyton. And also to Elodie and Damon too, and Dan and everyone else. So get around that. It'd be fantastic. So please donate as well. We've donated $119 from the pod as well.
Love it.
For that. And that comes from all the merch that you get. Well, go Crom, Crowject.bigcartel.com. We got badges, that have come in. Thank God.
Ooh,
Yeah, exactly. And all of our
exciting.
stock Cordies are back in stock too. Tell you what, Alibaba Logistics, never rely on a date on that. They're just like, we'll send it express to
At some
Singapore,
point.
and then it'll just go off of vibes from there. That was bad. Anyway, sorry,
surprising.
Lleyton, we have a
So,
semi-final.
we have a huge semi-final
Yes.
tomorrow night, which if you're listening will probably be tonight. Adelaide Oval, sellout crowd again, which is good to see. Hard to get tickets. There's people waiting in lines, doing certain things to keep to stay in the line, and
we need to talk about that.
Because
Okay.
that's
Sorry.
an interesting story. But hot ticket. It's the hot ticket. So we're playing the Hawks, which we played a few weeks ago and had a very close game against. They match up well against us. They've sort of got a similar strengths in terms of their forward and defence are really good, and their midfield probably aren't their strength, same as us.
No.
So it will be a great matchup. But the main worry for me is that just the pressure that they bring compared, like they bring as much pressure as Collingwood does, and they've played a couple of finals last year and have played a final at Adelaide Oval against Port in the same time last year. I know they only lost by a couple of points, but they're obviously going to be better for the run in that game. So I don't think, like, people might say we're going favourites at home, which I understand that argument, but Hawthorn they're in winning form. They've got experience against this venue. How do you see it playing out?
I mean, there's a part of me that thinks about what happened with their game last week against GWS.
Yeah.
GWS got a run on them that I don't think GWS necessarily worked for. Like, as much as people talk about the orange,
goals up.
Yeah, the orange tsunami and everything else like that. Just watching that game, it was almost like Hawthorn legitimately just took their pressure off almost instantaneously.
Once they got a certain margin up. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a bit of
correct.
a shootout, which you don't always see in finals.
Correct. And I looked at that and I was watching that game. I was thinking, what? I don't think that was GWS flicked a switch. That was Hawthorn took their foot off. Now, I look at that, and then I look at our last encounter that we had against them, which was at night, combined score of...
Yeah, it was a Friday night as well.
Yeah, so it was a combined 188 points that both teams scored.
Yeah, true. And they got off to a 5-goal-1 head start, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. But you'd think if we can fix that part of it up, that's a positive in terms of form from the last game.
Yeah.
It's just, that form we were having playing in round 22 is different to how we're playing now, unfortunately.
Yeah. And, credit to, I feel like both of the coaches, Nixie and Sam Mitchell are both the same pedigree in the sense of what's happened in their coaching career. Sam Mitchell, midway through 2023, was going to get fired. He was going to get canned.
Yeah.
And
then the next year they make finals.
Correct. And they were able to really flick a switch. I feel like that's what's happened with Nixie. I feel like it's been a slow burn, but it's been almost just blown up, essentially.
They've sort of invested in the right areas, but from the bottom up, so it just takes longer to pay off.
Correct. And looking at this and looking how it's going to go, I'm looking at, the last games at Adelaide Oval that we've played against them. And we talked,
a bit of a mixed bag.
Talk with Lockie, or was it with yourself? We talked about where we were a year ago after that Hawthorn win that we had.
Yeah,
it was only 5 weeks ago, and much simpler time then for the Adelaide Crows, that's for sure. But how far we've come from the year beforehand, where we let 13 goals go through in a row.
Yeah,
like I personally
lost by 66 points at home. That was a very different sort of performing outfit we've come to expect this year. And on form, how much do you take out of the Tassie game where we lost by a few points?
Nothing. nothing. There's no way you can compare just that score. And I'm just looking here on FootyWire, comparing it to September 1st, 2020, where that was Nixie's first or second win for us. Defeated Hawthorn by, what's that? That's
35 points.
35 points, right? 83 to 48. Yeah. And then, going down to bloody Launceston, 47 to 44, absolute slop fest. That game was just, neither side could get anything out of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But also, I know we lost, but I remember watching it and thinking we could have easily won that, like 5 goals, 14. Correct. So it's not necessarily terrible form against them this year. Do you know what I mean? Like we had that close win, which we started slowly. And then we had the close loss, which we kicked inaccurately in bad conditions. So you sort of think, okay, well, at least to me, I think worst case, we're going to be competitive in this game. Yeah.
And, they're a high pressure side. They, 5th in tackles per game as well. That they're up there from a pressure point of view, which is great to see. Not necessarily for us, but the one thing I wanted to look at was their injury list, which I can't seem to find.
Oh, yes. Well, we need to talk about selections.
Yeah, let's go through that now.
So, for the Crows, for Hawthorn, they've brought in Mitch Lewis, and out is Cal Shadir, who is injured. So, I think Mitch Lewis is still a good replacement. Like, he's a tall key forward. I think that's what they were lacking last week a tiny bit.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting inclusion, but probably they come in a better side. And we, you obviously know the news with Rochelle coming in and Bond going out.
So excited about that.
Yeah.
But look, not to bring up too much history, but there was a time where we brought in an underdone Italian-Australian for a knockout game in the finals against Hawthorn. Didn't go well for us in 2007, did it, Lleyton?
Oh, 2007 final, Jesus. That was awful.
And it was awful. And I remember...
Nick Gill was playing that game.
Well, he had it on... He
had it on a few different strings.
Yes, he did. But look, Rashudo came... I remember vividly Rashudo coming in for that game, and he was underdone. I remember his time on ground stats from memory were not good.
No.
He just couldn't do it.
I think, his time on ground was 36% in the elimination final against Hawthorn, which was the last game. But I remember that season. I know we're going sidetrack here, but I remember that season because in the last bit of 2007, we had to keep winning to try and make the finals. And the week before, the game against Collingwood was sort of the elimination final.
Yes.
And we made the finals. We won that. And then we sort of... didn't play terrible in Hawthorn. We just got our hearts broken, but we sort of limped across the line to make the finals in the first place.
Correct. Yeah, too much bike riding, thanks to Charlie and, of course, Neil Craig.
Yeah.
But look, my fear with Rochelle coming in is, look, the announcer and everything, I give full belief to the club in the sense of the way they have been able to manage players and everything, I think has been exemplary. You look at the Burgess effect. I feel like we were running out games better except for the qualifying final. That was our biggest loss for the year.
Yeah, that is weird to think. You don't think, like, even in 2017, we had a lot of, well, not a lot, but a few losses way over 24 points.
Yeah.
So it is good form in the sense that if that's our biggest loss for the year, yes, it was in a final, not ideal, but it wasn't a knockout final. We got this second chance.
Correct.
And hopefully
we've worked for
we can respond. Rash in, I think it's the exact player we sort of need. Yes, he might be a bit underdone, but he's still been out for 10 weeks. He's had a long time to condition himself, and he was close last week to coming in. I think it's mainly this game is just about can we get our fair share from the midfield and not just do dump kicks. like we did last week,
Yeah.
and have a bit more control.
Yeah, so look, with the selections, like you said, Rochelle has come in for Hugh Bond.
Yep.
Which I think is a good thing. It's going to push Max back into defense completely. And he did.
I think that experiment didn't work as last week. Unfortunately, I can understand why we did it, but it was sort of like everyone knew it was happening. He was training like that during the week, and for his first game back from injury, it was probably a weird move. Like, if you bring him back for a final, don't bring him back in the position he's played like once or twice before.
Exactly, man. Oh, it is what it is. But hey, let's get to some predictions. But I did ask very quickly on Insta, only just before, about wild predictions. Now, we've only got a few on here. The Crows Bible has said Fogarty to score multiple goals. Okay,
I hope so. He was a bit quieter last week.
TP_Loveridge says, we all take bubble wands and blow instead of boo. Is that title of the pod? Blow instead of boo? I don't know. Baratheon_31 has said, I put a large wager on the Hawks. This guarantees a win for Crom. Gamble responsibly.
I like the classic anti-bet of just being like, well, if the Crows don't win, I win something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like me in the 2017 grand final, that's for sure. TK Crowhurst has said, Rochelle going to be a game changer, ? So let's hope so. I'm bullish, but at the same time, I just want to put it out there and give me your thoughts on this later.
Yeah.
If we lose, is this season still a pass?
It's going to feel, from where we're sitting right now, it's going to feel like a wasted season. Yeah. But in that question, it's definitely a pass. Like, we won 18 games this year. I know we haven't won a final yet, but we've still won 18 games, which is a club record in the home and away season.
Yeah.
It's a pass. We wanted to make finals this year. We've not just done that. We finished top. It's going to sting as anything if we go out in straight sets. And yes, it's not going to be nice now, but long term, we are in a great spot to contend next year.
I couldn't agree more. And I feel like it maintains the rage going to the off season.
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap, no matter what happens from here, very optimistic about next year. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
we go in, with less hope and more confidence.
Exactly.
Which is weird.
Yeah, very strange for us.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's get to some predictions.
Okay.
So, Lleyton, who wins, how much, and let's just go for most total points. So it can be goals and points as well. So just a cumulative amount.
Amount. I like it. Okay, so I reckon Crows to win by a Mark Keane of 48 points. I think we start well and we run away. It might be very bold prediction, and it come back to me.
48.
But I reckon a 48-point win because, at least in finals, usually once.
Do we need a percentage?
That'd be weird if it helped. It wouldn't help, but I think hopefully we do the reverse of what Hawthorn did to us last time I played him and kick 5 goals to 1 in the first and run away with it. Just to make the viewing experience a lot less stressful. And then in terms of total points, I'm just going to do a repeat of last week and do Tex with 4 goals, 4 or something.
Okay.
Because he had 2 goals, 3 last weekend and he had one of the most dangerous forwards. So
definitely.
What about you?
I'm thinking of that semi-final last year of Port versus Hawks. Hotly contested.
Yeah.
Sicily hitting the
the
goal
point.
Post. Yeah, got the point. Yeah.
On the last
me wearing a bee costume on the hill.
I forgot you went. Okay.
That was amazing. it was amazing more in the fact that everyone thought I was either a fat Pikachu or, it was great. And $10 tickets too, because it was a Port home final. So happy
Yeah,
days.
that's crazy.
I genuinely do think that it's going to be by that same margin. It's going to be Crows by 3.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
We're going to
Now,
be
the rationale
biting
for
our nails
that,
off.
yeah. And the two of us, we're going together. We're also going with a friend of the bottom Patreon, Dave, as well.
Yeah.
Miracle of miracle, we got tickets. We'll get to that in Segment Street, but I'm genuinely nervous only for the fact that the Hawks have nothing to lose. They've got the sting in their tail of being on the same ground of losing last year by such a small margin. Yes, they've got some key outs. Thinking of Will Day as well, and Finn McGuinness too. However, I can actually genuinely see them taking it up to us. I think our ceiling is a lot higher for what we can do compared to the Hawks.
That's a good point. It's just whether we actually bring it, whether we're ready for that, whether we can handle the finals pressure. That's the big question.
Yeah. And look, I would happily take Crom by Mark Keane. Trust me. Okay. I'll just be clear. But I can see this being very close, and I've been saying it all week, really. Total points. I'm going to go with Fogg. He's going to have an even splash of 5 goals, 1.
Okay.
Wow. I don't see who exactly. I feel like there could be some mismatches in their defense that could be exposed.
Yeah.
And that gives him a total of 31. So that's where I think it'll be. It's going to be a big, big night as well. First bounce at 7:20, I think.
7:20, 7:10, one of the two. Get there early because it'll be packed.
It'll be packed. It'll be going off.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy times. And honestly, I'm trepidatious, but I am a bit excited.
Yeah.
And, we've got the Kia Carnival booked for next week as a just in case.
Just in case.
So just in case.
Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it Saturday.
Exactly. So, look, that's our primer that we have for the game that's coming up on Friday night. And anything else to add, Lleyton?
Go Crom.
Go Crom. So a big thank you to our Patreons, Nathaniel's patrons, patreon.com/Crowject, and also Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini for sponsoring us for another year as well. Thank you for coming on board, Nathaniel, and all the Coffee and Paninis too, and also Solely Designs too for all the amazing work that Soph does over there as well. But go Crom. Right. Let's press